How's it going everybody? Welcome back to XboxCorner. My name's Luke and today we're going to be taking a look at the final 4 Xbox Game Pass titles of July. We're also going to be saying goodbye to 3 great games which will be leaving Game Pass at the end of the month, though you do still have a few days left to play them if you haven't already done so. Now I'll be dropping weekly roundups detailing every one of August's Game Pass titles, but here on the channel you'll also find weekly deals videos, reviews and performance comparisons. If that sounds like your cup of tea, then make sure to subscribe and join our growing family, but for now hit that like button like the hero you are and let's get started. So first up we have another day 1 Game Pass release with the Ascent. It's a twin stick action shooter which offers both solo and cooperative gameplay, and I have to admit the game had me in its pocket as soon as I spied its neon infused cyberpunk setting. Now the story of the Ascent involves your typical dystopian future where megacorporations rule over the masses, but a series of catastrophic events have resulted in the world's largest corporation known as the Ascent Group suddenly shutting down without notice or reason. It then falls to you to defend your home district against rival corporations and crime syndicates attempting to seize control of it as you investigate the cause of the shutdown. Now aside from its wonderfully gritty aesthetics, another thing which has me intrigued about the Ascent are the game's RPG elements. These allow you to change up your character's playstyle through the allocation of skill points and equipping of various cyberware and augmentations, and from what I've experienced, these kinds of gameplay mechanics are pretty rare when it comes to the twin stick shooter genre, and I'm looking forward to playing the game and seeing what kind of impact they have on gameplay. Now the Ascent is available to play right now, and if you want to see how well it performs on both the Series S and the Series X consoles, then don't forget to check out our graphics and frame rate comparison video linked in the description box below. So the next title coming to Game Pass today is a rather unusual one, and it goes by the name Lethal League Blaze. Originally released way back in 2014, Lethal League saw its sequel, Lethal League Blaze, hit PCs in 2018, and then a year later on consoles, and the game appears to combine traditional fighting game mechanics with some kind of mad game of Pong. Now from what I can gather, you take to the arena with up to 3 other players and a single innocent looking baseball. When the battle commences, the objective is to smash the ball around the arena and into your opponents, but the ball gathers speed with every strike you make on it, eventually gaining enough speed to knock your opponent's soul right out of the body. Now while I made it sound simple, the combat does have a decent amount of depth to it, with your attacks allowing you to direct the ball and affect it in different ways, and there's a roster of 12 characters to select from, each with their own unique special moves. The game's also sporting some sweet looking cel shaded visuals and a funky as soundtrack, and despite it not being a new release, this is definitely one which was made for those manic 4-player sessions with a bunch of mates. But if like me you have no mates, then you can always take the game online and find some friends in cyberspace. Our third title today is a rather charming looking puzzle platformer called OMNO. Created by solo developer Jonas Mang, OMNO takes you on a journey through lush forests, across scorching deserts and frigid tundras as you explore an ancient world full of puzzles and secrets. Now when I first saw the footage of OMNO's desert sections, I couldn't help but be reminded of an amazing little title called Journey, but OMNO appears to be about more than just exploration and discovery. Through the use of your magical staff, you're able to interact with the world in different ways, using it to solve puzzles and progress through its single player campaign, and along the way you'll gain new abilities allowing you to ride your staff like a hoverboard, teleport between distant objects, or glide majestically through the clouds like some kind of onion-headed Superman. Now I'm both a big fan of journey and puzzle games in general, so OMNO speaks directly to me on a number of different levels. It offers a more casual puzzle experience which can be wrapped up in around 4 to 5 hours, so if you're looking for something to chill out with for a few hours which won't put too much of a strain on the old grey matter, then OMNO is definitely worth a look. Now our final game in today's lineup is kind of the odd one out, as it's only going to be available on Game Pass for PC, and with no word of when it might be coming to consoles, I'm only going to be covering it briefly here. So Project Wingman is an arcade-style combat flight simulator, and its gameplay appears to be heavily influenced by the likes of Ace Combat and Tom Clancy Hawks. Offering an engaging single player experience and pick up and play controls, Project Wingman seems perfect for those looking for a bit of dogfighting action without the burden of the realism imposed by some simulator experiences. With over 20 aircraft to choose from and 40 unique weapons at your disposal, it also appears to have plenty of variety to offer, and the Steam version of the game even includes VR support, which I have to assume will also be available with the Game Pass version. So that just about does it for this month's Game Pass offerings, but before we go, let's take a quick look at the 3 titles which are going to be leaving Game Pass on the 31st of July. First up, we have a fantastic little roguelike dungeon crawler known as Undermine. Assuming the role of a random miner who has been voluntold to investigate some seismic activity in the Undermine below, your job is to delve as deep as you can, gathering gold and powerful relics, as you attempt to unearth the secrets of the Undermine and track down the source of the disturbance. Now, alongside The Binding of Isaac, Undermine is one of my favourite roguelikes of last generation, and it's a little more casual in comparison to some of the more hardcore roguelikes out there, and it kind of plays a little bit like a classic Zelda game, with a wide variety of enemies and bosses to fight. Every failed run in the game still feels like progression as you continually upgrade your hub area and unlock new items and abilities for your character, and if you're a fan of the genre and haven't yet played Undermine, then I highly recommend giving the game a go before it disappears. The second game leaving Game Pass this week is the Touryst, and I haven't actually had a chance to play this one, but I hear it's a decent little puzzle adventure game. Arriving at the breathtakingly beautiful Monument Islands, you're free to take a dip in the ocean, do a spot of shopping, or even play a few games in the local amusement arcades. But the real fun lies in travelling between its various islands in your little pixel boat and exploring their ancient ruins. Now, the exact genre of the game is a little hard to pin down, and the various tasks and objectives you undertake cover a wide variety of genres, but there are plenty of puzzle elements in this one, and many of them offer a reasonable challenge. If you're looking for a more open-ended game which allows you to progress at your own pace, then this lovely little voxel game is definitely worth a look. So the final title leaving Game Pass at the end of the month comes to us from the creator of the Diablo franchise. It Lurks Below is a 2D action-oriented survival RPG game, which on the surface appears to be very similar to Terraria, but promises a different kind of gameplay entirely. Offering a choice of 8 unique character classes, each with their own stats and abilities, the game sees you delving deep into its randomly generated caverns and dungeons as you combat deadly monsters and amass an arsenal of randomly generated weapons and items. It also offers a variety of standard and hardcore game modes which include survival mechanics such as hunger and stamina, and while its RPG mechanics make it more akin to the classic Diablo games, I'm sure that fans of Terraria would still have a blast with this one. And so that just about does it for this week's roundup of Xbox Game Pass releases, but I'll be back next week with a fresh new batch of games to cover. Between now and then, Alex will be bringing you some fantastic deals videos, and we may even have a couple of reviews to share with you, so make sure to hit that subscribe button to be notified when these go live. For now though, I bid you all a fond farewell, and I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks everyone, take care.